This News Update is brought to you by...
They ask us how we do it, how we outrun the world. They ask us, how does it feel to fly? How do we dive headfirst into the deep? And emerge victorious. They ask us if we're afraid, if we're nervous, or if we ever feel lonely, so far away from home. But the truth is, home is always right here with us. Get ready to witness the magic of the Olympic Games like never before.
It's Tuesday, August 9th, and time for the Barbados Today Evening Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Barbados records 2 cases of microcephaly. However, health officials are urging the public not to panic. Health Minister John Boyce says investigations are on the way to determine whether the babies born at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital this week with the birth defect was as a result of the Zika virus or another virus. Microcephaly is a defect in which a baby's head is smaller than expected compared to babies of the same sex and age. Speaking at a press conference at his office this afternoon, Boyce said while the country records an average 2 to 3 microcephaly cases each year, these 2 are the first since the Zika alert was sounded.
To date, there has been no increase in the number of newborns with microcephaly in Barbados. Additionally, no children born to mothers who tested positive for Zika have been diagnosed with microcephaly. Pregnant women suspected or confirmed with Zika infection are monitored at the high-risk antenatal clinic at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. And these 2 cases of microcephaly were not among those being monitored. Currently, 14 pregnant women have been identified with the Zika virus. Of these, 7 have given birth, and there were no obvious birth defects detected in those babies.
Maternal and fetal medicine specialist Dr. Natisha Robinson is urging all expectant mothers to take the necessary precautions.
Which means wearing long pants, preferably lightly colored long pants, wearing long-sleeved shirts, and using insect repellents which contain DEET. So we will reinforce those things. I think we should also emphasize that sexual intercourse should also be protected, because there have been a number of cases where Zika has been transmitted from male to the female. All right, so we should also encourage that pregnant patients should use protection with their partners. Even though they're already pregnant, they should continue to use a barrier method.
There are gaps in Barbados's current food laws, so admits Health Minister John Boyce, who told the 2nd Annual Barbados Food Law and Industry Conference and Workshop this morning that government is looking at ways to strengthen such legislation in order to protect the health of consumers.
Government will continue to take responsibility for monitoring the entire food industry to ensure that there are no breaches in the regulations. As we are aware, Barbados depends heavily on the importation of food, which brings with it an avenue for the importation of foodborne diseases. It is critical, therefore, that we have the appropriate laws to establish the rights of the consumers to safe food, as well as accurate and honest information. The government of Barbados recognizes that there are gaps in the current food laws and that there is need to develop modern risk and science-based approaches in keeping with the ever-changing legal and regulatory standards within the global food industry. Thus far, Barbados, like other CARICOM nations, has implemented a new regulation standard which is said to be in harmony with the Codex standards for labeling of pre-packaged food. We must, however, make every effort to ensure that our existing legislation is enforceable and enforced.
That was Health Minister John Boyce speaking at the conference and workshop put by the Genesis Law Chambers under the themes Stepping Up to the Plate, a global collaboration in food law regulations, and Out with the Old and In with the New, no added sugars. In other news this evening, the Barbados Union of Teachers put the Ministry of Education on notice for possible industrial action at the start of the new school term. This as the BUT staged day 2 of protest action over the deduction of teachers' salaries who attended 2 union meetings earlier this year. BUT President Pedro Shepherd says his union is now giving the ministry 3 weeks in which to address the matter.
We are concluding the second day of protests against the docking of pay. We are going to use the next 3 weeks or so to give the Ministry of Education the opportunity to put whatever systems they have to put in place, maybe meet with the union, seek advice from the Cabinet of Barbados, maybe get the opinion from the Solicitor General, whatever it takes. We are prepared to give them until the 1st of September to do that. Failing that, then come the 1st of September, as the school year is about to begin, then we would have to take some action to get a positive result out of this whole situation.
Shepherd says he will also be writing to the ministry again on the issue.
I don't have any difficulty. Once we leave here this afternoon, I'm prepared to go back to the union and write another letter. Because we have written several letters. I'm prepared to go back to the union and write another letter. About this same matter. We have written the ministry no fewer than 3 times asking that they rescind the decision. And we have not gotten a response from any of them. But I am prepared to write the 4th one today after the protest and see if the protest would be enough to nudge them now to respond.
Finance Minister Chris Sinclair will deliver the 2016 financial statement and budgetary proposals next Tuesday at 4 p.m. in Parliament. Leader of Government Business in the House, Minister John Boyce, made the announcement this evening as Parliament wrapped up today's session, which paid tribute to distinguished jurist and politician Sir Frederick Smith. In sports, a team left Barbados today to compete in the second CONCACAF Under-15 Girls Championship. Assistant coach Richard Juggy Ford tells Barbados today the girls improved in all aspects of their game, and he believed they would do much better than the 2014 CONCACAF Championship in the Cayman Islands. The Bajan Lasses will face U.S. Virgin Islands on Thursday before they meet Anguilla the following day. Following that, they will play their final match in the group on Sunday against Curacao.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To developments from the region, the European Union says it will provide $50,000 to Belize to help those affected by Hurricane Earl. The Category 1 system ripped through the country last week, causing widespread damage. The EU said that the funding will support the Belize Red Cross in delivering much-needed relief, including access to safe water, sanitation services, and hygiene promotion, reduction of risk for vector and waterborne diseases, non-food items for the most vulnerable families. Authorities are still assessing Earl's impact. And on the international scene, the Brazilian Senate is meeting to decide whether to try the suspended president, Dilma Rousseff. Rousseff was suspended back in May over alleged illegal accounting practices. However, she said they were common practice under previous administrations. A simple majority will be needed to open an impeachment trial against her. Then a 2/3 majority will be needed in the final vote after the impeachment trial. that is due a week after the Olympics closing ceremony. And on that note, we come to the end of our news and sports update, but there is more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Or you can tune into channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM for the very latest. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.